would like to thank all of you guys for great support. And without this support, we couldn't go so far. You're the guys, greatest fans in the world. I love you guys. Thank you.
And I think the feeling is mutual.
This young man has managed to turn Vancouver on its head. His electrifying style of hockey has attracted many, many people who prior to this season wouldn't count themselves as hockey fans.
It's a debatable point, but perhaps the most exciting player in the National Hockey League today, Pavel Bure. And the fans are hoping that he has many, many, many more seasons in a Vancouver uniform. And if anybody can lead them to a Stanley Cup someday, it might be Pavel Bure.
Well, one of the guys who is certainly a veteran of his team and very much the backbone of the team is now being introduced. He too had a tremendous season. While the fans still giving an ovation to Pavel Bure, I think they'd like that to linger for a while. All right, we're introducing Greg Adams now.
He bounced back in the playoffs with a brilliant performance. None of us will ever forget his 2 winning goals in overtime. The pride of Nelson, British Columbia. A true gentleman, on and off the ice. Number 8, Greg Adams.
Thank you. I look around and I see a lot of signs saying, "We're proud of you, Vancouver Canucks." Well, speaking on behalf of this team, I just want you all to know how proud we are of you. You are, without a doubt, the best hockey fans in the entire world. And we appreciate that. Not only the Vancouver, but all of British Columbia. Thanks for your support. We really appreciate it.
The man they call Gus. He's, as you mentioned, Steve, a resident of Nelson, British Columbia. Home now is Coquitlam, and he is very, very much an active member of this community, involved in the Kidney Foundation in a very big way.
And I think they'll change that nickname from Gus to OT. 2 huge goals in overtime.
The fans now responding to an introduction for Burnaby native, a favorite son. They call him the little guy, but he played big. Number 7.
Guy played the final series with a broken hand. A big man.
He's only 5'8", 165 pounds, but he plays with so much heart and desire, and that's why the fans love him.
Now look at that cast. He's got a broken hand. He played with a broken hand.
Well, first of all, very proud of growing up in Vancouver. Also, I'd like to thank the teammates who went through a lot. Something we'll always remember. And one thing I've always wanted to do, I was here in '82 at the parade. I just want to see if we can beat them by waving the towels here, all right? So if you got a towel, let's get her going. Thank you.
And so much for the broken hand. He's not feeling too much pain today. He had that frozen before Game 7. Can you imagine the courage that took to go in and have somebody freeze your hand before you play that 7th game?
But can you imagine him sitting out that 7th game?
No, I cannot. I cannot. Knowing Cliff the way I do.
Want to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Unfortunately, Coach Quinn can only suit up 20 players. So there are a lot of guys that had to be ready in the wings. And the Vancouver Canucks, these guys gave the team the kind of support they have to have. He was captain of the dream team. He was ready if he was going to be called upon. He does have a bright future. Number 6, Adrien Plasvic.
Introducing Adrien Plasvic, a defenseman, didn't play in the playoffs.
But he was there, and he was ready.
I'd like to thank everybody for showing up here today. I'd also like to thank the Griffiths family, my teammates who played great, stuck together all the way through. We've been through some tough times, but we pulled it all together. And I'd like to thank you fans for showing up here. You guys are great. Can't believe all the support at the airport and everywhere. It was great. Thank you.
Adrien Plasvic still ahead. Dana Murzyn, Gerald Diduck, Bret Hedican, Kirk McLean, and the last guy, the captain, Trevor Linden. It's interesting, Steve, that the Canucks, this is a heck of a beginning for their annual party. Tonight, somewhere at a secret undisclosed location, they are going to be having the celebration of the season that was quite extraordinary, and what a start to that season.
I know where it is, but I'm not telling. I wasn't invited, but I do know where it is, and they will have a lot to celebrate. It has been, as you mentioned, a great playoff season.
Introductions now for number 5, Dana Murzyn. Played some of his finest hockey during the playoffs.
Well, it sure is great to come out here today and just be overwhelmed by all the support from all the fans that we know have been behind us through what was kind of a long year for a while. And thanks to you guys and all the guys in the team, we all stuck together and we made a good run for it this year. So another couple months we'll be back and we'll get ready to do it all over again. Thanks very much.
Dana Murzyn was injured in the Calgary series. He only played a few games in the playoffs, and he was understandably heartbroken over that injury.
And that enabled Brian Glynn to move into the lineup. Big break for Brian Glynn, disappointment for Dana Murzyn. But he certainly was a factor in the first series against his old teammates, the Calgary Flames.
Well, another hard rock defenseman on the team is number 4, Gerald Diduck. And the crowd says thank you to Gerald Diduck.
And there's a young man who just might remember the moment a few years from now.
First of all, I want to thank my wife who couldn't be here tonight, or today. She's home ill with pregnancy of our second son, or daughter. And most importantly, I want to thank Vancouver and these guys back here who gave me and my family the best memories we've ever had in hockey, and we're looking forward to many more to come. And even Stanley Cup finalists get stuck without babysitters sometimes. Thanks for coming.
What a great line. And he's got a born ham, a born announcer as his son.
One of the moments from this day. Now Bret Hedican is next up, and there's a guy who did skate many miles in the playoffs.
He was one of the 3 players that came in what turned out to be the Peter Nedved deal, along with Jeff Brown and Nathan Lafayette. And I think Bret Hedican is really going to be the star of the 3. A great skater, a tremendous amount of potential. He had a very good playoff for one who's so lacking in playoff experience.
But it hasn't taken me long to figure out this is someplace I'm very proud to be a part of, an organization that I'm happy to be with, and I hope to be with for a long time. And I'm proud to be a part of this team this year. Thank you, fans, for all your support.
St. Louis Blues have been very good to the Vancouver Canucks down through the years, and he's another of the steals from the professor, Caron.
All right, Kirk McLean been introduced now. Let's listen to Tom Larscheid's introduction and the fans' response.
His sensational save on Calgary's Robert Reichel in the 7th game in round 1. His 4 shutouts, tying an NHL record in the playoffs.